Hey everyone, alright, so this video is going to be kind of different. This basically is more of an announcement video. Now, it's brilliant news because Luke Ward-Wilkinson is finally coming back to acting. Now, Luke Ward-Wilkinson, I'm a huge fan of his. It all started when I saw Sharp's Peril, you know, the Sharp TV show that Sean Bean starred in. Well, the final film in that series, Sharp's Peril, which was aired back in 2008, Luke Ward-Wilkinson is one of the plays one of the supporting characters in that movie. And the minute when I first watched that, he was a standout as far as I was concerned. He does such a brilliant job, and of course I own Sharp's Peril on Blu-ray. There you go. But yeah, I mean, this is actually my favourite Sharp movie as well. You know, the actual storyline to go with it, as well as having Luke Ward-Wilkinson in it, is makes it all the more enjoyable. So Sharp's Peril was the one that started it all for me when it came to Luke Ward-Wilkinson. And then I looked at his Internet Movie Database page, and then of course saw he was in Wild at Heart, so of course went back and watched that, and he's in the first 4 seasons, so season 1, 2, 3 and 4. Season 4 is actually my favourite season. It's it was a shame he didn't come back for the other seasons, but it looked as though because he's had obviously quite a while away from acting. I think he stopped acting pretty much around the end of 2009, beginning of 2010. So it's like a 5-year period he's been gone for, and it's been such a shame because he's such a great actor. You know, it's like a child actor. He's kind of like, genuinely, I'd say he was up there with, you know, like what Elijah Wood was, you know, in terms of the talent and natural ability, that spark that they both had. Additionally, of course, the final thing he was in, or final big thing that he was in before he left acting, was of course Beautiful People. Seasons 1 and 2, of course. Season 1 in 2008 and season 2 in 2009. So he's in. Obviously, this series came to an end in 2009. Of course, his involvement with Wild at Heart came to an end that same year, and that was pretty much it until now. And he's back with a new theatre play, the UK tour of Lord of the Flies. It begins in September, and it's going to be running through up until mid next year. It's going to be going to places like Edinburgh, Sheffield, Liverpool, Coventry, Cambridge, Dublin. It's going to, I think it's going to be going to quite a few different venues, Newcastle, Manchester, so all the big places, and I'm planning on going to see it in Edinburgh, most likely in October, mid-October. It's coming to Edinburgh, at the Festival Theatre. I can't wait. I haven't seen Lord of the Flies. I haven't read the book. I haven't seen the film. But I'm just going solely for Luke Ward-Wilkinson, because of course he is one of the main characters in it. So he'll be in it all the way through. So he's back in a major way, and hopefully he's here to stay. So like I say, this will take like the rest of this year up, starting in September, and will carry through to like mid next year. So he's gonna be doing that for quite a while, so that'll keep him busy. I have also looked at his CV on his official page with the acting agency he's with, and he's also credited as being in the new two-part special of Luther, you know, the BBC show with Idris Elba. They've filmed 2 special episodes that will be shown later on this year. I think it'll be like either late September or sometime in October, and I think Ward-Wilkinson's going to be in that as well, so he's back on TV as well as being in the theatre, because of course he has done theatre in the past. In 2003 with the Royal Ballet, he was in their production of Sleeping Beauty, and that was back in 2003, and 12 years later he's back on the stage again in Lord of the Flies. So it's really fantastic. And one other acting credit he's got to his name, which I would recommend, The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey. Him, Tom Berenger and Jolie Richardson. It's a nice little film, Christmas film, of course. I think he made that around just before season 2 of Wild at Heart started, so I think like 2007 time he was in that came out. It's an enjoyable film. Him and Tom Berenger have a good chemistry on screen. I think it'd be a nice companion piece to go alongside something like, you know, Forever Young with Mel Gibson and Elijah Wood. I think it fits nicely alongside that film. You know, your 2 leads, you've got an adult and a child, like in Forever Young, Mel Gibson the adult, Elijah Wood the child. In this, you've got, in The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey, you've got Tom Berenger as the adult and Ward-Wilkinson as the child. Obviously, the chemistry between both the leads in both of those movies is fantastic. So yeah, I would recommend The Christmas Miracle of Jonathan Toomey. But yeah, I am so thrilled. I absolutely adore Ward-Wilkinson. He's absolutely fantastic. Like I say, he's got just such natural ability, and like I say, he's such a standout, like in Sharp's Peril, great in Wild at Heart, he's fantastic in Beautiful People. He really steals the show in that. Also, something I would like to mention, in 2008 he was in a really nice little short film called Love Does Grow on Trees. That's worth checking out if you're a Ward-Wilkinson fan. They have it on YouTube. Just if you search Love Does Grow on Trees into YouTube, it'll bring it back. And that was in 2008. So that was a nice little. I mean, I'm not really a lover of short films, but I did really enjoy that. He is the main character in that. It's only a 10-minute thing, but it's nice. Yeah, but it was such a shame when, you know, that he left initially, you know, but I'm so glad he's back. Ward-Wilkinson is absolutely fantastic. I'm sure he's going to kill it in this UK tour of Lord of the Flies. I'm sure he's going to be brilliant. I can't wait to see it. Yeah, it's going to be brilliant. And there is one thing I would like to talk about. I have done a video talking about the Highlander remake that's going to happen. I got a message from James Bryan, who's been cast as Ramirez, Sean Connery's role, and he said they're looking at going into production next year, so starting filming at some point next year. The director of the Highlander film he's just wrapped filming on The Huntsman. So he's in post-production with that now, so I think as soon as that finishes up, he'll be getting started on the new Highlander movie. Of course, James Bryan has been cast as Ramirez. Like I say, a new actor, pretty much a newcomer. I'm sure though he'll give it his best shot. He does have a look of Sean Connery, admittedly, so yeah, that certainly was good casting in that respect, but I'm sure he'll be fine. I think obviously he's considerably younger than what Sean Connery was, so it looks as though they've gone for a younger Ramirez in this movie. Dave Bautista as the Kurgan, absolutely fantastic. I talked about that in my video I did on the Highlander remake. Can't say enough good things about Dave Bautista being cast as the Kurgan. He's going to be fantastic. He looks intimidating as hell in the new Spectre trailer, so if he brings that to the Highlander remake, that'll be fantastic. Now, you ask, why do I bring this up in the Luke Ward-Wilkinson video? Well, like I say, as fantastic as it's going to be to see him in Lord of the Flies, as great as I'm sure he'll be when he appears in Luther later on this year, this is the thing. I initially said I'd like Ewan McGregor to play Connor MacLeod. Connor MacLeod hasn't been cast yet, I don't think. But there is the thing that Ewan McGregor he's in his mid-40s now. So, and that's too old to be playing Connor MacLeod. Especially if they're going with a younger Ramirez. I think the director wants to go with a younger Connor as well. So that would be... And besides, Ewan McGregor's got the Obi-Wan spin-off to be thinking about. This is the thing. I mean, Ewan McGregor would be fine as Connor MacLeod, but I've thought about it, and I want Luke Ward-Wilkinson to play Connor MacLeod in the Highlander remake. And now that it just so happens he's come back to acting, it's more of a viable option now. It's more of a possibility. It's quite interesting because this happened all at the same time. I was just debating hypothetically. It was on Sunday I was talking about it. Then Monday morning I look on Twitter and see it's been announced that Luke Ward-Wilkinson is in the cast of the UK tour for Lord of the Flies. This is too much of a coincidence. Obviously it hasn't been cast yet, but if they're looking for a younger Connor, I think Luke's about 22 now, so Christophe Lambert was 28 when he played it in the original, so if they want to go a bit younger, Luke Ward-Wilkinson. I think as well, when we first meet Connor back in the 1500s, I think he's actually only 18, you know, when he goes into battle and meets the Kurgan for the first time. And then when he meets Sean Connery's character Ramirez, I think he's only about 21 there. So there we go, Luke would be perfect. And of course, since Connor MacLeod is an immortal, he doesn't really age that much. So I think Luke Ward-Wilkinson would be quite a good age. In terms of his look, let's talk about the look of the character. Luke Ward-Wilkinson, in terms of his physical, like his height and build, he's perfect to play Connor. You know, especially when you contrast him with Dave Bautista. I mean, Luke Ward-Wilkinson's probably 5'10", 150 pounds, something like that. Dave Bautista, on the other hand, 6'5", 280 pounds, complete contrast. And that's how it should be, because remember in the original, Christophe Lambert was only like 5'11", you know, and Clancy Brown was twice the size of him. So it'd really work well with, you know, Luke Ward-Wilkinson contrasted with Bautista. That'd really fit, and like we say, I think, you know, how Luke Ward-Wilkinson would go alongside James Bryan as Ramirez in terms of the age. You know, you're going with a younger Ramirez, you need a younger Connor, so when you look at them, I think there'd still be enough of an age gap between the two that you could buy James Bryan as this mentor to, you know, the older, wiser guy who's going to teach Connor MacLeod, you know, what he needs to know. In terms of the physicality that would be involved, you know, the sword fighting, well, let's not forget Luke Ward-Wilkinson was part of the Royal Ballet for years, so when you think about that, and he's done some physical stuff in like on screen already, you know, in terms of the roles that he's played. I think the ballet training that he has, that would probably help him, you know, make it a lot easier for him picking up the sword techniques and the fighting, you know, just learning the choreography of the fight scenes, I'm sure wouldn't be too much of a problem for him. You know, if you look at like Patrick Swayze in Roadhouse, he was a dancer, his mum taught him, and he used that to help him learn all the martial arts he needed to learn for Roadhouse. So it could be a similar sort of thing here. You know, Luke Ward-Wilkinson using his ballet background to learn the fighting styles. And one other thing I will say, obviously, yeah, he is handsome. So when Brenda Wyatt, the main female character in Highlander, falls in love with Connor MacLeod, or you know, is attracted to him, you'll be able to buy that, you know. Yeah. So I think that's, you know, there's a lot of reasons why Luke Ward-Wilkinson would be a good Connor, and in terms of just all-out acting ability, Luke Ward-Wilkinson's got it. Luke Ward-Wilkinson has got that natural ability when it comes to acting. He can handle it. He'd be able to play a really good Connor, and you'd get that sense of vulnerability that you need. Like Luke Ward-Wilkinson, he's quite unassuming, you know, he doesn't look tough, and he shouldn't. Connor MacLeod shouldn't look tough. The Kurgan, on the other hand, Dave Bautista, yeah, you need to look tough. You need to look like an arse kicker. Connor MacLeod, on the other hand, no. Connor MacLeod gets beaten up a lot. Like I say, he gets his arse handed to him the first few times he fights the Kurgan. So obviously, Luke Ward-Wilkinson had fit the bill, you know. But yeah, I think he'd be a really good choice, and like I say, he could handle the role in terms of the acting that it'd need, you know, like the really emotional stuff where his first wife Heather dies, you know. Luke Ward-Wilkinson would be able to sell that. And also, yeah, I'm not sure what they want, you know, if they want, like, if they don't really want a big name to play Connor, this would be ideal. I mean, like I say, Luke, he's not the biggest name, he's not really a big star. Obviously, he's a familiar face to some people, you know, known from Wild at Heart, known from Beautiful People, but he's not like a big name, you know. So if this could make his name, and it could help that transition, you know, from being a child actor to becoming an adult actor. Like this could be for him what Lord of the Rings was for Elijah Wood, let's say. Yeah, honestly, Luke Ward-Wilkinson would be a perfect Connor MacLeod. He'd be great. But yeah, if they wanted like a relatively unknown but who had some experience behind him, Luke has that. He really does. But yeah, let's see what happens. Either way though, I am glad Luke Ward-Wilkinson's back. It's gonna be brilliant, and hopefully he'll stick around. So yeah, Lord of the Flies, and keep a watch out for when Luther comes back on the BBC, because I think he's going to be in that, pretty sure, and that'll be great to watch. But yeah, I want Luke Ward-Wilkinson to play Connor MacLeod in the remake. It's gonna be fantastic. Honestly, it'd be great. I've been saying, if Luke Ward-Wilkinson does play Connor, that Highlander remake will by default become my favourite film. So hopefully it'll happen. Anyway, that pretty much brings this to a close. Sorry I got too much into the Highlander aspect, but yeah, I cannot say enough good things about Luke Ward-Wilkinson. I know certainly when he was in Wild at Heart, he had quite a big fan base, you know. There were a lot of people who realised how great he was as an actor, and even in Beautiful People as well. And a lot of people have realised, you know, it's such a shame he seems to have just faded off the map. Well, looks as though he's back, and thank God, because he deserves to be back, and he really does deserve to be the star of something, you know. Because even in Beautiful People, he played the main character, but you always got the sense, you know, that was more of like an ensemble thing. You know, there wasn't like, it wasn't like one actor was the star of the show. It was a group of them. But yeah, hopefully we'll be able to turn this around. Anyway, Luke, please do Highlander, or you know, and to the director I've tweeted him, you know, please consider Luke Ward-Wilkinson to play Connor. I'll keep on doing so, and hopefully we'll get somewhere. But yeah, that pretty much brings us to a close. Sorry if I've been rambling, but thanks for sticking with me, and thanks for watching, and I shall see you all later on. Thank you, everyone. Bye.